Good morning. We'll just wait a few more seconds here for some more people to join us, but we're so happy to have you join us here on Cup of Faith on Friday, September the 17th. Yes, we're so happy to have you join us. Please give me a thumbs up or a comment to make sure you can hear me okay. Pastor Larry is in BC this week, so he's asked me to sit in. I'm in the campus chapel right now doing Cup of Faith here, and we're so happy to have you join us. Let's see. I'm going to wait to see if I can see some people on here. My name is Ruth Ellen Wallace, if you don't know me. I'm the church administrator here at Church of God. And we're so happy to have you join us. Let's see here. Yeah, give me a thumbs up or a comment to say you can hear me okay and that you're watching. I'd love to know where you're watching from. September 17th today here. Great, okay. So what a season we're in, hey? This is such a crazy season that we're in, and even yesterday, Saskatchewan just had a new mask mandate brought down by the government, and who knows what's going to happen in the next few months with everything that's going on. And it's a constant change of the season that we're in, and sometimes we're just like, what do we do? Like, how do we even react to this, and how do we still do the mission of the Lord that He's called us to do in these times? So we're talking about remembering about our God is unchanging today, our unchanging God. So this tumultuous, fast-paced world we're living in, of constant change, it's getting faster by the minute, and we just don't know how to keep up, right? Our focus on what's most important is constantly in jeopardy by the distractions pressing for our attention around us. We struggle to keep up, to stay current, to stay in the know. We fear missing out on things. It's so incredibly difficult to fathom and to draw close to a God who is unchanging, and yet the Bible says that our God is an unchanging God. And I just want to provide some comforting messages and notes here today about how we can cling to this God of unchanging character, and how we can really change our hearts as well to reflect and appreciate a God who is unchanging and the comfort that's found in that. So Psalm 102, 25 to 27 says, "In the beginning you laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. Like a garment, like clothing, you will change them and they will be discarded. There, like constancy, are actually being shaken, and you're just really feeling shaken. But remember, and even they will wear out like a garment, and He will remain. God is our constant presence in anything that shakes other than Him. And I love Psalm 46, 1 and 2 says, "God is our refuge and strength, and ever-present help in time of trouble. Therefore we will not fear, that though the earth gives way and the mountains are toppled into the depths of the seas." So think about mountains. I think about Pastor Larry. He's in BC right now with all the beautiful mountains surrounding him. And you think about how the mountains are so constant, and the biggest thing we can think about in our world that's the constant, most biggest thing we can think about is mountains, right? And we have beautiful mountains in the Rockies right now, and they've been there, since the beginning of time, and we just always trust the mountains are always there. And yet, this verse say that even though the mountains are toppled into the sea, even they will pass away. But our God is so constant and so strong, He will never pass away. He is so unchanging, and He is so constant. We can run to Him like our rock that we need just to stand on, God as our constant foundation. God is also omniscient, which means He's all-knowing. He's all-present. He knows everything. He sees the beginning, the middle, and the end of your life and of your kids' life. He knows you inside out and can see the best path for you to take, the best path for your kids to take, and the best path for our nation to take. The plans of the Lord stand firm forever, Psalm 33:11 says. The purposes of His heart through all generations. So God can even see the path that led up to your life and even the generations to come. He can see the beginning and the end, and He knows exactly what He's going to cause good to come out of your life if you just trust Him. It's so important that we just trust and remember that He is our constant force in our life. He already knows what tomorrow will bring and asks you to trust Him today. I like how the Bible talks about do not be afraid. I think it's like 365 times the Bible says, don't be afraid. And I think that's one time each day. So for the whole day of the year, a whole year, we can always remember, don't be afraid, the Bible says. And it's always natural to have a bit of trepidation when we feel like we're living in quicksand, right? Nothing is secure even anymore. But remember how constant the love and protection of the Father is around you right now, and how He longs for you to turn to Him and trust Him. We also don't need to have all the answers or feel in control to have peace. Some people think that the only way they can have peace is to feel in control and have all the answers and have it all figured out. But remember that Adam and Eve, they first sinned in the garden because they desired to have knowledge apart from obeying God. And so how important that message is for us to remember even today, that obeying God is still more important than wanting to have. So even more than these days, we need to have constantly remember that our hearts need to return back to trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus than to trust and obey. And in this world of great darkness and confusion, it's helpful to remember that darkness isn't really a thing, really. Darkness is just the absence of light. And God calls us to be the light in the darkness. And you simply are called to be filled with light and to shine your light into the darkness. So, and what does light look like these days? I think about just God asking us to be the light in the world. And what does light look like these days? Well, I think you look on social media, look around us, there's so much division and disagreement and just struggle and frustration between people and between groups of people that I think that light these days looks like love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. Needing these things and so lacking in these things, that I think the simplest way to shine our light every day in the people that we see around us on social media, just the people we work with at church, all these different environments that we're in, to shine these elements of light. That's going to be what's going to cause this darkness to be dispelled by the light of Christ in our life. So remember that God didn't put us here on earth to have a life that's just an easy, comfortable life, right? We have our own plans and dreams for the future, and we just want it all to be so perfect and so comfortable and so successful. Our own definition. And in attitudes and mindsets and behaviors. And sometimes and what that means. And that's what sanctification happens. When all we have is the constancy of the Lord. That's how that is developed in our hearts. Of me, Jesus, in order to have this overcoming character in your own life. So abiding with Jesus, the constant. Even though we have, our hearts are just everywhere and we're wanting to react to everything around us in this fast-paced world, it's so important to train ourselves to pray without ceasing and to abide with Jesus constantly, and that's what's going to prepare us for eternity with him. So by keeping our focus on the constancy of our unchanging God, we also begin to value other things in our lives that have enduring value. Our relationships, our health, the environment, these different things that are enduring on this life right now in a way that we were called to steward. So rather than just being reacting to the different things that are happening around us, remember the mission that God has given us. He's given us to steward our relationships, the environment, and our health.